Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to talk about Ossiarch Bonereapers, and we're going to talk about them because last night on Warhammer Community they announced that Ossiarch Bonereapers will be receiving a White-Dwarf update in this month's issue of White-Dwarf, soon to be released, though it is delayed by a little bit apparently. And so we want to talk about what we'd like to see in the update, and when we do, we want to talk about things that we are likely to see in an update. Now these updates have been, all over the place. We've obviously seen things from mount traits added in cities, we've seen, Grand Alliance, or rather sort of Alliance specific battle tactics, we've seen Allegiance specific battalions in some, and we've not seen all of these in every single update. We've also seen some core rules changes and some slight rules changes on particular units, things like the Slaves to Darkness or some cool rules additions, and so we want to talk about what we're going to see in these particular updates. And so we thought when we do this, we pick 3 things that we think we might actually see and that we would like to see and we think are plausible to see in this sort of type of update. We've definitely not gone for any brand new models, that's not a thing you will see in these updates. We've not gone for any new war scrolls or major rewrites. We've gone for simple little rules, or rather some rules. Some of them maybe not so simple and do require a proper rules rewrite, but that's what we've gone to see. So let's have a crack and let's have a look what we can see for Ossiarch Bonereapers in their White-Dwarf update. So this is 3 things we'd like to see in them. And so, number 1, I think this is the one that everyone wants, and that is a proper rewrite and clarification of the Relentless discipline rules. So, Relentless discipline was brought out before the time of Age of Sigmar 3rd edition, and it essentially was very similar to how command points now work for the entire game. Of course, Ossiarch Bonereapers have a ton more command abilities they have on their units, and they have so many more ways to generate extra Relentless discipline, still rather than command points, but I think a rewrite of these rules is definitely a must for me. Now, whether or not we see this in the update, I think is maybe a little bit of a stretch. I think this is probably one of the more unlikely ones we're going to see, but I would like to see it. I would like to see them sort of rewrite them and make them more plentiful command points. I get that maybe that loses some of the flavor, but I think the command ability rules applying to them is fine, excluding the not being able to use the same one more than once per phase. I like that you can use on every single Mortec unit the shield wall ability. That should be the thing. They should work like generic command abilities, and how you distribute them, how you use them, except that they should be allowed to be used more than once per phase. So each one costs 1, but you can use the same one multiple times on different units. Which is pretty cool, but each unit can only receive 1. So you can either use your shield wall or get your rule from your character behind it. I think that is the way to sort of balance them out and stop, any issues with overstacking the abilities. For me, that's the way to do it, and make them work like command points. Make Relentless discipline points just command points they can use, and maybe make your own special rules alongside these as well, so we can use normal command abilities, which we'll talk about now. Access to the generic command abilities. If we do this Relentless discipline change and we make them just command points or something similar to it, I'd like to see access to the generic command abilities available through Relentless discipline. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be available, and this would keep Ossiarch Bonereapers at that level where they get more of this. This is their thing. They get better and more command abilities than every other army, and I think that's the way to keep this army unique, is allow them to do more with command points and command abilities. Obviously using them as Relentless discipline, so give them access to the generic abilities. This would be great for the army, being able to get things like +1 to hit and +1 save across the army. Of course, you would have to choose to use these instead of your war scroll ones. I think that is the way you balance, as mentioned before, is only allowing the 1 to be used on each unit, but you can use the same one multiple times. And maybe we do limit, I guess, these ones here, the command points, to the once use per army wide. Maybe that's how you do it, but I would like to see them get access to it. It'd be cool to have things like the movement and the rally and all that sort of stuff. Would be really fun to have on the Ossiarch Bonereapers. And lastly, what those access to generic command abilities and Relentless discipline may allow us to do, and using them, is allow Nagash to come into the army and actually use Relentless discipline points. This could be really cool. I'd like to see a rule that allows him to interact with the army properly. Now, while you generally don't want these big mega characters in coming and gaining allegiance abilities, using Relentless Discipline points is just part of how the army, and because they've changed it from losing a core rule to using Relentless Discipline instead of command points, I think it would be fine for Nagash to get access to Relentless Discipline points, because it'd be the same things you get access to in another army, just plus a couple of things, I guess. But he can't use, he would only get other characters' abilities. He would only get to use the generic command abilities if we are indeed going to make them for the Relentless Discipline points able to be used and stuff like that. So I think it would work out perfectly fine allowing Nagash to use them. But these are my 3 thoughts on what I would like to see from the White-Dwarf update. What would you, as an Ossiarch Bonereaper player, like to see from a White-Dwarf update? Obviously, we want to see things like our own battalions, our own battle tactics and grand strategies and all of that. And if you have thoughts and ideas on what you would like to see for these grand strategies and battle tactics, let us know in the comments below, and what you would like to see from a battalion as well. I'd love to hear from everyone on what you would like to see from this White-Dwarf update. Let us know in the comments below. Well, that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment below and let us know what you enjoyed about the video. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel and turn those bell notifications on so you don't miss a beat when we upload new stuff to the channel. Lastly, if you'd like to help support the channel in another way, you can do so either by helping support the channel on Patreon or YouTube members. This allows us to continue to make new content for the channel, exploring other game systems outside of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, like we have started to with things like Elder Scrolls: A Call to Arms and Conquest: The Last Argument of Kings and Warhammer 40,000, and it helps us just continue to make more Age of Sigmar content as well. Thank you to, though, everyone who has helped support, and we'd like to give them all a shout out to our patrons. First of all, Christian Weir, James Soren, Greenskins Gaming, AJC, Kenny Lowe, Outer and Shop First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, Anton Nilsson, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, and Samuel. And to our YouTube members as well, Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Chris Wallace, Ronya, Vinny Locklorick, The Johnny 84, David Ellsworth, Revenar, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Sean Scott, and Diplomat. And a special thank you, of course, to, first of all, Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel you see here, and to Xmorphic, who does all the awesome background work on our Discord server, keeping that nice and running properly for us all. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Once again, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against Grey. Ciao for now.